Day one of the New England Patriots mandatory minicamp practice is officially in the books. And with that being said, we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here at practice. Got to see a little bit more of Drake Maye, Joe Milton, and a bunch of other guys as well. Now in this video, I wanted to break down everything that happened in today's practice, including some 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, but also more importantly, I want to give you guys a few names that you need to keep an eye on for going into the rest of mandatory minicamp, but also training camp as well. Now, before we jump into the video, I do need you guys to do me a massive favor, and please go over and follow all of the Patriots media members, man. I want to give a big shout to them because without them, these videos aren't really possible. They work so hard each and every single day to get these highlights out for us and, kind of enable us to make these videos and update you on practice. So, big shout to them. Go follow them on Twitter. You're going to see their names. They're at the top left of your screen throughout the entirety of this video. So, make sure you go give them a follow for live action, live highlights from practice throughout it all. Now, with that being said, let's dive into the video. Now, early on into practice, like before practice even started, Maye said, listen, don't look at, who plays what, like what quarterback goes first, second, third, fourth. Don't really look at that. They're just, getting guys in different spots, rotating in and whatnot, right? Now, he basically said, listen, wherever Drake Maye is, it doesn't really matter. As of right now, the QB competition is continuing going forward, right? Now, with that being said, Drake Maye was repping second behind Jacoby Brissett, basically the same as last week. There was also some possessions where Bailey Zappi was getting some second team reps as well. So obviously, take everything with a grain of salt. The pads aren't on yet. There's still not too much contact here and there, but that is definitely something to note. Now, there's also been some really big-time plays, big-time catches. One being by, a guy who's been breaking out ever since last season. Demario Douglas has been insane. It looks like he could be the alpha in this wide receiver room. He made an insane diving catch, from Jacoby Brissett. And you can just tell his athletic ability from the jump has been insane. The progress he's made from last year to this year has been really fun to watch as well. During drills, Bailey Zappi was going right after Jacoby Brissett, but in 11-on-11s, Drake Maye was going second. So like I said before, Bailey Zappi was getting the second reps, and then once we got to 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, that's when Drake Maye started to retake those second team reps. So again, Maye said, don't read into, who goes when and whatnot. It doesn't really mean anything right now. So that was very interesting. And also another big piece of information was Michael Onwenu switched from right tackle to right guard, and Caden Wallace played right tackle during today's practice. Haven't seen Onwenu at right guard since OTAs this spring. So obviously guys playing some new spots. Now, before we jump into the rest of the video and break down everything else you need to know about today's practice, I need you guys to do me a massive favor. Hit the like button just so we can get this video out to more Patriots fans around the world. But more importantly, subscribe if you're new. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Patriots throughout the entirety of the offseason. You may ask, what does that include? What does that entail? Well, the rest of the mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season, and once the season does kick off, we're going to be breaking down all 22 coaches' film from their games and live streaming some of the games on my Twitch. So if you guys want to watch some Patriots games or, hey, even Celtics finals games, follow my Twitch right now. It's Matty Dubs with 3 S's. We break down the game live on there, and the link's also in the description as well. With that being said, let's kind of dive right back into the video. So that was an interesting development, but Gerard Mayo alluded to the best guys are going to be playing, right? The best guys are going to be getting the reps. So if they have a right tackle if they have two right tackles that they think could be starters, they're going to play both those guys in different positions, right? Right guard, right tackle, and that's kind of what we saw. The team also believes that Chuck's at left tackle might give them the best opportunity, right? We got I don't know how to say his first name, Chukwuemeka Okorafor. He looks like he could be the day one starting left tackle for this team. And then, elsewhere, Michael Onwenu could be the right guard with Caden Wallace at right tackle and David Andrews at center. And then obviously Cole Strange trying to get back from that injury. But right now, you should be very excited about where this team is headed, the progress that they've made so far, and the fact that they have some rookie offensive linemen already making a case to be starters is definitely a trend in the right direction. Drake Maye definitely had some big time throws today. I feel like Drake Maye ultimately looked really well in a lot of the drills, but the offense I feel like today won. Definitely 11 on 11s they won today. He threw a crossing route it was beautiful ball placement, but the ball was dropped. Not really too sure who the wide receiver was. I don't think they mentioned it, but Drake Maye had some really good throws. Overall in 11 on 11s, Brissett had 9 throws. Drake Maye had 6 throws, or 6 opportunities, right? But overall, I think Maye was 4 of 5 throwing the ball. Brissett was 4 of 6. Brissett ripped a touchdown in the tight red zone to Pop Douglas, what we saw earlier. Reach back, catching in between 2 defenders. Kobe Brissett also, another guy, like, really looking good. And, I've said this throughout the entirety of the offseason, like, don't be surprised if, Brissett is your day one starter at quarterback. I feel like, you never really want to throw a rookie quarterback into the fire right away. And I feel like as Drake Maye continues to develop, I feel like Brissett is a really good quarterback to learn from. I mean, he's learned from Tom Brady, and he's been starters in different areas. So I do think that Brissett being a day one starter would actually help Drake Maye's development going forward. Now, the O-line did have a false start. There's a bunch of refs out there today for today's practice. We saw Julian Edelman out at practice, a bunch of other guys, just being, guests for today. But yeah, definitely some penalties. One on Brissett's rep. He also handed off twice, and Maye scrambled once in his 11 on 11s. What else happened? Maye, his last pass was a 20-yard jump ball touchdown to LaMichael Petway versus Jalen Hawkins. Petway's a big dude, man. He's one of those tough, hard-nosed, physical guys who can just make big-time plays, and I think he's been slowly starting to break out here in practice as well. Now, I also wanted to give you, a few more names that you guys need to continue to look out for going forward. Obviously, with Drake Maye and Joe Milton, I want to continue to see how Joe Milton develops. Obviously, they haven't really been playing him too much today, but I want that arm strength is something that just stands out when you watch him play football. So I want to see him continue to get better and better as time goes on. See if he can continue to just, improve, from the pocket, but also he's a threat to scramble as well. So definitely excited about Joe Milton. I want to see him get some more reps here and there. Another 2 guys, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker. These are 2 young guys who they think could be day one starters for this team. And the main area to watch over the entirety of camp is probably this wide receiver position, because you have DeMario, you have Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, Juju, Jaquan Jackson, David Wallace, Quan Baker, Jalen Rager. There were so many guys here. Not all of these guys are going to make the team, so definitely keep an eye out on the the wide receivers. Matt Judon was back at practice. He was not present for all of OTAs, but back today, so that was a good sign. Chris Gonzalez has been an absolute stud throughout his career so far in New England, before he ended up missing the rest of his rookie season. The last 4 games, I believe, got hurt. Marte Mapu is a guy who has been mixing in with the linebackers and the safeties. I feel like he is one of those guys who can do multiple different things for you, so that is interesting. And then you look at the DB room, the cornerback room specifically. They're actually really excited about Isaiah Bolden, the 7th round pick of last season. Very tall, very lengthy. He's been a guy to look out for, as well as Alex Austin, right? From last week's OTAs, he looked good. But Isaiah Bolden has been getting a lot of slot reps, but they really see him as an outside boundary corner. We'll see how he, can fit into this defense. But right now, really good start for the mandatory minicamp for the offense. I thought Drake Maye, I thought, Jacoby Brissett looked really, really good in 11 on 11, team period. And you know what? For the majority of camp so far, the defense has been, getting the upside, getting the big plays. But today, the offense took a really big step up. So hopefully they can continue to get better as time goes on. Make sure you guys do me a big favor, like I said. Join the family. Subscribe if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And we will be covering the Pats throughout the rest of the offseason. If you guys want tomorrow's update, make sure you guys subscribe. I believe they practice Wednesday. Tomorrow's an off day. They'll do something as a team together. And then Wednesday, we'll be back for another Patriots video. And low-key, I might just post another Pats video for tomorrow as well.